New video from the ongoing drone incursions over New Jersey and the Pentagon's response. We'll be speaking with subject matter experts. Subject matter experts. Who are experts in drones? It is my understanding that the technology, that drones are a real threat. We are entering the drone wars stage of humanity, in which drones should be the ones fighting the wars. Drones should be the ones fighting the wars, and not really humans or not even drones are like robots. But now we have a problem that in New Jersey there's this swarm of huge drones that are the size of a garage. We are talking about the size of a garage. They're really huge for a drone. We're not talking about small, cute drones. Oh, small, cute drones. No, this is something odd. This is one of the videos. I'm gonna play one of the videos. You see that they're the huge, big drones, and of course they have to be huge. But that's the only way that they can have actual autonomy, the right autonomy to be flying slower and be undetected. How can they be undetected if they are this big? I mean, the United States should have the technology to detect them no matter what. And so we have to believe that there's no way to know, and they've been at this for weeks. How does that work? And well, we have this from the Pentagon.
Second question, you talked about this new classified strategy. And you had talked before about that there were some incursions, particularly down in Virginia, over military facilities, and there's been others.
Incursions.
Is there anything in the strategy that's more tactical that allows commanders to do anything, or is this just a broad statement of policy?
Of course it's got all kinds of good information, but it's classified, so I can't talk about it. No. So really, Lita, again, recognizing that the strategy is classified, we will have an unclassified fact sheet that we'll be providing soon. Really just kind of looking at how we'll approach this. One is ensuring that the department is prepared to conduct counter unmanned system operations, counter UAS operations. Two is look.
Why is he talking like in the future? Why is it like he should be? They should be on that right now. They should be all over it right now, because this is a huge security issue. Or they're trying to use this is a smoke screen. My experience with Venezuela and the Venezuelan government is that you do these kind of things as a smoke screen. Oh, there's these mysterious drones. No, they are not mysterious. They know what they are doing. They're doing this to distract from something else. What is that something else? I don't know. There's so many things that could be happening, but we always thought, we spoke about smoke screens in the sense that you trigger something mysterious in the population. Oh, maybe there's this galactic federation sending drones, or this Iranian drones. We have to believe that 3 weeks after this is happening, they have no idea where these drones come from.
At how we respond to incidents that do occur by pulling together subject matter experts and resources. And then third is tracking equipment and counter UAS equipment, UAS as one aspect of drones.
And the way that he looks to the floor, like he never really looks to the people, to the journalists, is not to trust. Ricky, you get a point. Whack the Dog, amazing movie, Dustin Hoffman, and in which, they created this made-up war overseas so they could hide all this stuff. You have to watch. If you haven't watched Whack the Dog, watch it. It is a very interesting watch, and again, could be always a smoke screen. How could you not know where do they come from?
So really, again, broad brush. It's kind of looking at this in a comprehensive and cohesive way. Again, I'm not going to go into the specific tactics, techniques, procedures at this point, but it enables the department to approach this in a way, again, that's comprehensive, cohesive, and holistic.
Holistic, yeah, Kamala used that word as well. Holistic. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, first a Chinese spy balloon drifted across U.S. airspace for a week. Now, unidentified drones are flying over New Jersey. And why New Jersey? Why New Jersey? Avoiding radar detection. Gaps in our airspace are being exploited, and because of it, the safety of Americans is at risk. This is just unacceptable. Let me see if we have enough sound. Oh, we have sound.
You see, Trump National Golf Club isn't far from the Picatinny Arsenal military base, which some thought may be behind the drone.
I don't know why I didn't have captions of this. Let me see if I can generate them. The captions are always useful. Maybe analyze. Okay, we have captions now.
You see, Trump National Golf Club isn't far from the Picatinny Arsenal military base, which some thought may be behind the drones. But the base tells Fox News, quote, while the source and cause of these aircraft operating in our area remain unknown, we can confirm that they are not the result of any Picatinny Arsenal-related activities.
Okay, but maybe another arsenal? A different arsenal? You just have one base in there? And you know that drones are very convenient because you can move them really quickly. It's not like a tank that you see this huge ass trucks moving tanks if you need to move tanks, but drones, even if they are the size of a SUV, you can move them rather covertly. Okay, that is important to point out. So maybe they were imported from somewhere else. And where's the base of where those drones are being? Because it's not like you can fly a drone from all over the Atlantic, from overseas. They have to come from somewhere. And there are many of them. This is absurd. This is absurd. This is the most absurd story that I've ever heard in a while.
Fox News also spoke with Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey. He said it doesn't appear the pilots of these drones are breaking any laws, rules, or regulations. They're staying out of restricted airspace, which he says is an indication that they know what they're doing.
And at the same time, okay, they are not entering restricted airspace, but it is my guess. At least I've seen the regulations of drones in many countries, and they have to be, after they pass a certain size, maybe you can fly a recreational drone that is less than, 200 grams or something like that, and that is no big deal. But after a drone passes a certain size, and certainly if it passes more than 2 kilograms in weight or in wingspan, you have to register them with the respective authorities. You cannot just fly a drone of certain size, of this size especially, without it being registered. All right? And the other thing is, how can they not just send some kind of signal like a beacon so it doesn't get, even if you are flying that in airspace which is unrestricted, it should be sending some kind of signal so in case of an emergency, they are restricted at some point. You tell me that. We were talking about that. Salt Sila is not around, by the way. We were talking about yesterday about gun registry, of the government to know about your guns, the government to know about how many guns you have, what kind of guns you have, how many guns are in your possession. And you tell me that being drones so dangerous in terms that most of them have cameras, most of them are silent, most of them can be flown in the way that there are all sorts of countermeasures to drones, all sorts of countermeasures that just, you can have some sort of a force field, and you can have like EMP guns. They can take them from far away. Don't you tell me that you cannot like read. I don't know. I don't know that much about drones. Do they have some kind of serial that you can read remotely from the communication? The communication should have the communication between the drone and the pilot. You know that the pilot is going to be remote. The communication should have some kind of like traceable code, so you know, oh, okay, this drone belongs to John Doe, and that way then you can know if you see a drone, even if it's in unrestricted airspace, just by pointing your fancy gun detecting drone detecting gun, you can tell who does that huge ass drone belongs to. That is common sense. That is common sense, because yes, in many cases, in terms of surveillance and well, knowing the field, you need to. That's why we were talking when the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, this Thomas Crooks flew a drone to have a reconnaissance of the area. All this should be regulated at some point. If you regulate guns, you have to regulate drones. It's like, especially if they are that big.
I do not believe it's the U.S. military, and if it is, and if they're doing exercises, shame on them for the disorganized way they are doing it. I don't believe it is them. I am hopeful it is not a foreign adversary, yet I do worry about that.
And if it was Iran, from where is Iran piloting those drones? And where are those drones taking off from? I mean, how much? I forgot the name. The stamina or endurance for how long they can be flying. There's a term for that. For how long they can be flying. They have to take off from somewhere and then get to New Jersey. Are they the logical thing to be is that they are taking off from New Jersey itself. I mean, how long can a drone of that size fly? How long can a drone of that size fly?
And this will be a main topic of conversation at a House hearing on Capitol Hill today that starts at 2 o'clock, focused on the safety implications of drone technology. And
okay, you might have had that conversation 10 years ago, when, I don't know, or more. And there's an alleged mothership of this. I think that Jesse Waters had a very interesting take on this. Let's hear it.
Well, the mysterious drones that have been flying all over New Jersey have caught the attention of the FBI, and they're clueless.
The Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity. We do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet.
Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident?
Okay, so why don't you take matters into your own hands and you take down one of those drones? It's really easy. I've seen the videos, and you can order on Temu a rifle that shoots like a directional EMP, that you can disable a drone. You can it's like a drone jammer, and you can jam the signal and bring the drone to the floor. You don't even have to take the drone down, drop to the ground. You can even make it land safely on a spot with these guns. It's impossible that the army, I don't know, the military doesn't have this kind of guns, this kind of technology.
It would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that, but we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
We just don't know if Americans are at risk. Of course Americans are at risk.
So the FBI either lied under oath just there, or they're completely in the dark about our national security. Even the governor of New Jersey admits he has no idea what's going on.
These are apparently as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. You've got military.
They are very sophisticated. And you know that the moment that you put your eyes on them, they go dark. You know that we have night vision goggles like 40 or 50 years ago? Night vision. You put on your fancy night vision goggles that I, as a civilian, could go on Amazon and buy, with enough money, night vision goggles and put on those goggles and see the drones at night, even if they go dark. I can do it as a civilian. We could go for a GoFundMe and we buy one of those night vision goggles and we do it ourselves. This is a joke. This is a complete joke. They absolutely know what is happening.
Utility assets. We've got the president-elect's one of his homes here. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. We've gotten good cooperation out of the feds, but we need more.
Jersey officials say the first sighting was back in the middle of November. And since then, they've gotten hundreds of sightings throughout the state, 180 in just one day.
180 in just one day. I mean, when you already have 20 in one day, you need to do something. You have to deploy something. Countermeasures. Don't you have drones yourself? Don't you have drones yourself? The military should have anti-drones. Anti-drones. Oh my God. Oh my God.
New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew says the drones are Iranian.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones.
Okay, you first said that you don't know where these drones come from. And now you say that there's a mothership. Where's a mothership? Is that mothership that you say, is that mothership, this Iranian drone mothership, in the room with us right now? Is it? Because you speak in terms I think that you yourself don't understand, and you should speak to your tailor as well.
That mothership is off. I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America.
It's off the east coast. All right. Have you taken pictures of it? Oh no, that must be national security. No, but it's not. That is okay. You have 180 drones over New Jersey, just doing their business with Americans living there. That is okay.
Drones should be shot down. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine, or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
The military is on alert. You know, the same military, this is a DEI military that is more concerned with the trans agenda and the diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all that stuff. Besides, it's not besides. It's another. I forgot. In place or instead of just doing their job.
The Pentagon disputes this, but wouldn't say much else. Listen.
At this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening.
We're going to continue to monitor what is happening. Let's see if they begin shooting death lasers. And when they shoot the death lasers, maybe then we can start shooting them down.
There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
The problem is that when they say mothership, I can imagine an alien mothership like floating in the sky. That is my sci-fi mind thinking, right? I think that they're talking about this huge boat, and they are just coming from this boat. But it's impressive how all of them play dumb. Okay, I don't know anything about this. I don't know everything about this drones. I don't know where they come from. Maybe that mothership, or they are I don't know, just there. Let's keep watching, monitoring the situation. Let's keep monitoring the situation.
If you don't know what they are, how can you say they're not a foreign adversary?
Yes, that is my question as well.
Our initial assessment is that this is not the work of a foreign adversary or a foreign entity. That is our initial assessment.
They also said not to worry because the drones are being investigated by local law enforcement. But the local law enforcement people said they have no idea.
So that's the current state of affairs. We also have this. If our government really doesn't know that these giant drones are over New Jersey and our military bases, they're even more incompetent than we thought. DEI, I told you. Time for them to level with us about what's really going on. And we also have Eyewitness says the drone he saw over New Jersey was 40 by 40, larger than a two-car garage. When did we start allowing this in our airspace? Or does the government know more than they claim? They are into it. They want chaos. I've told you. This is complete chaos.
How is it possible
that
everyone from the New Jersey governor to the FBI have no idea what these are? Joining us now is my friend Evan Cutler, who witnessed one of the drones up close in New Jersey. He took some pictures as well. Evan, good to see you.
Nice.
So Evan described to me what he saw, and I said, you got to come on the show to talk about it. Evan, what did you see?
Well, I saw a drone. If it was a drone, who knows what it was, but it was not the drone you see people fly.
Okay, this is an impressive picture. This is so okay. Are you sure this was not some bubble gum in your camera's lens? The quality is just impressive. Okay, did you take this picture with a Nokia? You know, the 3310 Nokia, the good phone, but you know what I mean. I mean, you see the complete frame, and this. Let's see if there's a better picture. It was
the size of a school bus.
It was the size of a school bus. We started with this SUV, then it was a two-car garage, and now it's the size of a school bus. What is this? The next thing we know is going to be the size of the whole Madison Square Garden. This is crazy. What is happening?
Literally the size of my two-car garage. Well, I have a one-car garage. The size of a two-car garage.
And what happened when you saw it or you started taking pictures, et cetera?
Well, to back up a little bit, I'm coming home from On Patrol Live. It's 12:30 at night, and I get into Montclair, New Jersey, and I see the full moon. And I'm like, well, it can't be a full moon because the full moon was 2 weeks ago.
And no, if you, wait a second, Paul. Wait a second. I don't know. It doesn't matter in which part of the world you are. Doesn't matter in which part of the world you are. You're going to see the moon the same size regardless in which part of the world you are. Maybe you're going to see, because of refraction, when the moon is nearer the horizon, is rising, maybe you're looking at the moon, if you're lucky enough to see the moon rising at night at the sea, then you will see that it looks bigger. It's because of atmospheres of refraction. But how come you're going to see into the sky and say, oh, that looks like a full moon, and no, it's not a full moon, it's a drone? That would be a huge ass drone. I'm not going to keep watching this. This is pure insanity. This is absurd. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to confuse a full moon with a drone. I mean, or the drone was like 2 meters from your head. So I would have to make the calculations, but how far away a drone should be to look at it the size of the moon? And that doesn't look like the size of the moon. Any phone right now would make a better picture than this. This is a. This looks like, yeah, like a chiclet, a bubble gum, and chewing gum on the windshield. We are losing brain cells with this. You're right, Rickley. We need to just to skip this. Just let me just make sure. I'm gonna mute this And to be fair, I'm going to move forward quickly. Scrub if we have a better picture. That is the picture, and then we have this. Let me see what they say about this.
You know,
The one thing I got to say though is, if for people like me who do see something that's unidentified, there's very little recourse. I Googled, what do you do when you see a UFO?
You take a picture. You take a picture, but something that is not a Nokia 3310. That is important. That is important. No. This is not it. This is not it. I'm gonna call it a day. Today. Daisy sent a super chat. Thank you, Daisy. Lord, have mercy on us and protect us from evil. I don't know what was your super chat about, but still, it is truer. No truer words were spoken. We need that. Oh, I guess you were talking about the people that Biden is set to pardon that are on death row. Oh my God, let me see your comments. I want to see your comments. There's a round. Let's make it a round to read your comments.